What's goody, everybody? It's your girl, Nat Clark. We're back with another episode on The Nat Clark Show, and we have another special guest with us today. She is a good, dear friend of mine. She is a killer on the field, on the softball field. She played 4 years at UCONN University. She has a degree in sports management. But while she was killing on the field, her position was outfield, left side hitter. And here are just a few accolades, just to run it down with you guys. She was named 2024 Big East Player of the Year. She's a four-time All Big East selection, 2023 NFCA First Team All Region. She also recorded 211 career games played, fourth in program history. 254 hits, second in program history, and she also holds the record for 198 career runs scored and 128 career stolen bases at UConn University. And her name is Lexi Hastings. Lexi, how are you doing, my good friend?
Hey, wow, Nat, I'm so excited that you have me here today.
Yes, yes. I know you're killing on the field. You just had a stellar season, a stellar career at UConn. And so we're just going to go ahead and dig deep into that. But before we get into it, let's talk about your athletic background. I know in high school you were a three-way athlete. You played volleyball, you ran track. As a matter of fact, you were two-time state track in high school. Yeah, and while you were killing on the softball field, so tell me your athletic background. What made you want to go into sports? What was the origin story behind that?
Yeah. Um, so early on in my life, I was in foster care. I was later adopted. Um, my adoptive parents, they decided to enter my siblings and I into sports as a way to become individuals, have confidence, learn all the awesome things that sports can teach you. So I started as a figure skater, more individualized sport. Then I moved to cheerleading. And at that point, my mom said it's time for team sports. So I made the switch to drop the tutus and the sparkly bows and started playing in the dirt. And the rest is history.
You never left the dirt. Shoot. So what was it like? So you talked about just going into sports, but did you always have like a niche for sports? Because I know for me personally, like when I started out in sports, I did ballet. So almost I had a tutu at one point in my life, but I was like, Mom, I want to play basketball. I want to play soccer. That was just like I just love running around and being active. So was that kind of like your niche growing up too?
Necessarily, I had an uh, like a niche for sports. I kind of just was signed up. I will say I was always ultra competitive
Okay.
to the point that I started getting being in individualized sports and then moving to cheerleading. I didn't know how to be a teammate. Um, I had a little bit of a big head and I didn't understand how to like work with others.
Gotcha.
Um, However, I was always ultra competitive, and that's kind of what led me into the team sport aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because like you and me both, we do not like to lose. We just want to win, and losing isn't fun. It's always fun when you win, and I enjoy more winning than I do losing for sure. So softball, that's something that you've been playing for a long time. What made you want to get into softball and focus on softball specifically?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, um, I started running track. Fell in love with it. I was always very naturally fast, pretty athletic. Um, Ended up doing really well just with my raw talent. And I was really torn. Like, I remember car rides sitting with my mom just, like, bawling, like, I don't wanna have to choose between softball or track.
Yeah,
Um, and I got some offers to do both at the collegiate level, but I something about me is I wanted to be great in whatever I did, and I felt like I wanted to give my time to one, to be able to do it at the highest level, and I kind of really sat with myself with my parents, and I decided that softball would allow me to still have that track aspect, like be fast, um,
Always on your
be
toes,
athletic,
alert.
yes.
Yeah.
And I could excel with that like fast twitch in the softball realm versus in track, I felt like maybe it was a little bit more difficult to separate myself from a speed aspect. Um, and I mean, even in softball, I can still like run the bases and run around the outfield and steal and have the thrill that track also gives me, just in a different way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Now let me ask you this though. We know that track is more is an individualized sport. Like of course you're a part of like the track team, but it's up to you when you're at the starting block or behind the line or when you're jumping in the sand, right? So let me ask you this. So when it comes to track being individualized and softball being more team based, were you more having did you have more like acceptance and pride in being a part of a team based sport than an individualized sport?
Yeah, even after I mentioned the first part, I immediately just thought about like the team aspect. I love being a teammate. I love what team can offer. I think a lot of people don't realize that track has a team aspect to it too, just in a different way.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm always been big on teams. I've always been big on just let's do it together rather than just letting me do it by myself. So yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So when we talk about team, of course, we talk about culture. You played at UConn for all 4 years, just right there in Connecticut. And when we talk about team culture, tell me about like the softball team. When we hear UConn, we definitely hear about basketball, whether it's
Yes.
men or whether it's women, and a lot of most of the time it's women. So tell me about just the dynamic and the team culture for softball specifically.
Yeah. So I will say being at UConn, um, it's a championship culture. That in itself, any athlete that comes through UConn, the goal is to win championships. Um, so that competitive spirit is always there. I think the culture with our team specifically, um, we had a lot of pride in the like who we represented on the front of the jersey.
Us team,
Um,
yep.
we took a lot of pride in honoring those who came before us, the alum, um, because in order for us to bring UConn softball back a championship, it
Mhm.
hadn't been done in over 2 decades. We needed our village. We needed those who came before, those who are with us now, and setting the stage for those to come. And I think that idea of competing for something bigger than ourselves was a huge part of our culture. It's actually our mission statement.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, we also loved team. Coach really valued family. Um, so that was something that we held to a high standard and like really valued as well. And we were just going to be ultra competitive and athletes and leave the place better than we found it.
Awesome. Yeah. So I know y'all start early for softball. Y'all would move in around this time of year. But did the weather ever affect y'all? I know it's because it's cold. It gets cold up there, like especially like in the winter months. So like, how was that like practice wise, like up there?
Yeah, we always pride ourselves on the fact that um like we were huskies, like we like the cold
That's actually kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
and we were going to get after it in whatever condition it called for. There's extremes like the teams down south, they get to practice outdoors um and sweat during like the late winter months where we're inside the football facility. Um, we are very fortunate that we did have that space to have like a full field set up and get our work in. Um, but typically going into preseason was like the first time we'd really get to
Hmm.
see dirt. So
Yeah. Yeah. I know UConn is a part of the Big East Conference, so y'all are playing against teams like Xavier, Marquette, Providence. Who else am I missing?
Creighton,
Georgetown.
Nova.
Yeah. So talk about your conference. Like, what were some of those games like when it came to playing against specific teams? Like who was like one of the hardest teams that y'all faced in conference, and what were one of those teams that was like, I can't stand this team. I want to beat them every time I step on the field. So just tell me about your conference, how competitive it was, how fun it was, and things of that nature.
Yeah. I think something coach always says that I think really encapsulates our conference well is like it's a hitting conference. Um, Teams are going to hit. You have to have the pitching and defense to back it up, but you also have to be able to score more than 5 runs. Um, so super competitive games. I think collectively as a conference, we were really working hard to like elevate the mid majors.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I think any team in our conference is competitive. You want to beat anybody standing in your way of a
Right.
championship. Um, I would say we definitely had our rivals that, they had just won back to back, or they beat you in the conference tournament the year before, so you have a little extra um,
A little
fire in your
animosity.
eyes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As a program, we really try to pride ourselves on being respectful, classy, respect the game, respect ourselves, our program. So I think we always try to do it the right way, but
Mhm.
yeah, definitely competitive.
Yeah, yeah. Out of all your 4 years, could you say like your last year was like the most like team dynamic? Like y'all just clicked, like
Yeah.
cohesion was there, like y'all done played maybe a couple years or all 4 years. Like, could you say like maybe your last year or which year was it specific where y'all actually like, hey, we're all on the same page, we got it together? Like, yeah.
Think to your point of was this year that it felt like it clicked? Yes, because we got our results. But I think I enjoyed every year because we were building and
Mm-hmm.
you learn a lot in that process. I think it was fun to watch this group specifically because coming into the fall, we did something we've never done before. Because if you're trying to get something you've never done, you got to do something you've never done.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided during our 8-hour segments in the fall that we would do team led or player led team practices. Um, and we were getting in our work. We were doing challenging stuff. We were coming in during the summertime, doing lifts, doing team practice, getting freshmen acclimated. And I think what was so awesome about like doing 1% more was actually seeing the magic of the season from the outside. You
Yeah.
have girls, Caitlin Breslin, Grace Jenkins, Kat, Petty's hitting like multi-number home runs, multiple people doing that, hitting in the 20s for home runs. We beat our single season run record, all these different things. And I think being able to know like the work that we all put into it was just like really rewarding.
Yeah, seeing like the results, like not only just working towards big results, but actually seeing it all transpire
Yes.
towards like the end. I think that is just so magical. Like
Yeah.
I can say personally for basketball playing at Randolph, like seeing where I was freshman year with the team and all, not just with myself but with the team, up until like my senior grad year, like actually playing in the conference
Mhm.
tournament each, like within from my junior to my grad year, because Randolph's never had Randolph's never had a tournament game since my junior year.
Mhm.
So just seeing like that transpire all the
Yes.
way up to, and almost we didn't win the conference championship, but just to be able to get there again, the progress and seeing it not only within myself but like my teammates that I played for a couple years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that is just so rewarding. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking a little bit to the tournament too, we found that we reflect every year about what went well, what could we do better, and like that's kind of how we came up with the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like our mindset shift, it was really cool to see of like we're training to dominate and intention behind every single extra work session. And then we come into the tournament and We pull off like a 1-run win.
Yeah.
Our goal is to get to the final day undefeated.
Okay.
Second game, we had a crazy scoring like moment, and then we come, championship game. We're not playing around. We ended up winning 18-4, but it's just like straight up dominance. Like we weren't working to win a championship. Like we were working to like win a regional. And
Mm-hmm.
no, we didn't get where we wanted, but like it just puts like it's
Put
kind
more
of like
emphasis, more
yeah,
drive. Yeah.
yeah, like the archives for the formula of now we know what to do.
Right. Yeah. Like once you put your foot on the gas, there was no letting up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
definitely going to talk about that day in just a second for sure. Um. So as far as I had a another episode with one of my other good friends. She also played Division 1 softball, but she played at Long Island University, and she was kind of breaking down to me like her schedule. So just tell me like a little day in the life of like a softball season, whether it's, from practice day to like game day. Like, what does that look like, especially playing at a high level?
Mhm. So typically Monday was our NCAA required off day.
Oh, okay.
Coming off a travel weekend, that was usually when a lot of people got in their extra lift or their recovery. We really prioritized something, whether it was personal, school related, to get us really ready for the week. Tuesday and Wednesday, we typically would have a midweek game. Um, and then we would usually prep for that while also prepping for the pitchers that we'd see later that week. We would have lift, our classes, practice leading up until probably Thursday. And then we would travel, play a 3-game series on the weekend, and then hopefully get some dubs and then do it again.
Do it again. That sounds like a busy schedule, but you've been used to it for
Oh, it was
4 years.
life.
Yeah, it was the life. You loved it.
I loved it.
Oh, I love staying busy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when I'm not busy, I feel like I'm being lazy in a way. But
Yeah.
that's just how us athletes are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Big East playing in that conference, and then just navigating being a Division 1 athlete. That's always been a great dream, a great goal to have. Especially going from playing sports all your life to playing at the highest level you can, and then hopefully further for sure. So let's talk about like that day when you actually birthed the first conference championship since 2001 on May 10th, 2025. You beat Creighton from 8 with the final score being 18-4. So just describe to me again like that moment going talk about the moment going into the game for just a
Yeah.
sec.
I think there was a lot of emotions. Pretty rough week leading into the conference tournament. We had lost the regular season title. We It's absolutely what we needed going into the week, but just from a performance standpoint and like a mental standpoint, I really had to like take the steps to lock back in. And so my goal that week was just like trust my preparation and like literally have so much fun, be so in the moment. I think when I looked back on my career um in those tournaments, you clinch so hard to like this one goal
Yeah.
that when it you come up short, it really takes a toll on you, and it's hard to like be present and really take in the moment for what it was. So my goal was just to have an absolute blast, be in the moment with all my teammates. Um but yeah, you said how did that moment feel leading up
Yeah,
to it?
leading up to it, like going into the game. I know
Yeah.
there was probably a little bit of nerves, but at the same time, you're like, all right, we're here. I'm excited. I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to give everything that I have to give. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think my teammates were really chill leading up to the game.
Yeah.
And I'm very observant. And I was trying to test the vibe. Like, okay, are we chill because we're like super confident and we're like, or are we getting like so nervous that we're going internal? And I just kind of rode the vibe of my teammates because it was the same consistently throughout the weekend. So I was like, you know what? Actually, we're good.
We're
We're
good.
good.
Yeah, we got this.
Um,
Yeah.
And we go into our pregame. Our center fielder, Caitlin Kibling, she is like the best person to talk to when you feel like you just need to like ground yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just tried to stay loose and like at the end of the day, whatever was meant to be was going to be. But like I knew that it was also ours to take. Um, so I didn't care who was in front of us. We were just like ready to go. And yeah.
Could you honestly say like that helped you? Like, is that something that you needed for sure?
Need what specifically?
Like to be chill and be like at the same like level, like same like level minded like as your teammates. Do you think that was something that you kind of like needed for sure?
I'm someone that actually operates at a very high energy state. Like if you watch me play, I am like screaming. I'm like, that is me.
Mm-hmm.
I think leading up to it, yes, I need to be a little bit more chill. And um, I think just to calm myself down and ground myself. And then once we started pregame, I was able to like pick it back up, get the energy flowing, be loud, things like that.
Good, good. So playing in the game, how was like how was the pace of the game? Was it just a different vibe when you were actually on the field playing, or was it just like, all right, I've been here before, I already know what to do?
Yeah, it felt there was a lot of moments in the game where I had to like take breaths to like re-ground myself because we were on offense for a majority of the game and
Yeah.
we're just like smacking the ball and I'm like, "Oh, there's another run. There's another." And I was like, "Don't get too far ahead of ourselves because
Right.
we've been in this position before and we've ended up losing an 18 run lead."
Mhm.
And I was like, just trying to ground myself, but I'm just watching the ball hit the bats, and I look over my teammate, and I was like, "Dude, we're winning this thing," and she was like, "All right, like stay locked in." Um, but yeah, it was surreal, honestly. I think when I was when I was in the game, something that we worked on as a team is like don't get too far ahead of yourself, like stay present, attack what's happening right now. So I really tried to like maintain in that space but also like allow myself to feel the excitement of like, hey, like this is happening.
Yeah, yeah, you were living in the moment.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. So the last inning comes up, and you, the last inning comes up, and you know, like, all right, we just won. And y'all stormed the field. Tell me about that release, like that excitement, like, oh my gosh, like we just won the Big East championship. So what was that like when you,
Yeah,
yeah, when y'all came together and y'all actually held up that banner?
it was so surreal like going into college, and this is why I loved my mid-major experience because we were fighting to bring that championship back, put UConn softball on the map. And yes, all those things are playing through your head before that. And that's the moment you dream of when you go to college.
Mm.
Um, and that was like the vision that I bought into. And coach believed in me and everyone else she put on the team to make that happen. Um, but I think in the moment, all I could do was just look at my teammates' faces. And I remember me and the other senior, we just started bawling
Oh,
because like we knew what it took to like really see it build from the ground up and like just seeing the joy of your teammates, of your coaches. It was such a dream come true moment.
yeah, like a little starstruck, but it's like, oh my gosh, like this is really happening. This is really
Mhm.
happening for me and my team, and all the work, all the hard work is paying off right here in this moment. Like that's
Yeah.
so, yeah, I can only imagine. Um, for sure. So little fast forward, y'all find out that you play against Nebraska. Um, what was that selection like? I'm not sure. I don't really understand how the selection is when it comes to like playing for the NCAA tournament. So you
Yeah.
find out you play Nebraska. What was everybody thinking in that moment?
First of all, we were excited no matter which region we ended up in. It was a chance for us to represent the Big East. and ourselves. Um, I think we didn't care who was in front of us. We just wanted to go and compete. Um, I think it's even more exciting that we got to compete against some of the top talent. One of Jordy Ball, one of the best pitchers in our game, along with so many other incredible athletes. I think honestly, we love um, playing the best of the best. I think it brings out your best. So that was really exciting. Also, Baton Rouge was just a phenomenal place. So we were definitely excited to head down that way.
Being New Orleans,
So yeah.
Louisiana. Yeah. Yeah. So did I know, like I said, UConn, when we hear UConn, so most people think basketball, but how was like the student body and like everybody when it came to supporting y'all to actually play in the tournament? Like, was it great energy, great vibes, good population of support?
Yeah, I think there's something called Top Dogs, which is students who come and like have like a student section at games, and they were there for like some of our um big games and then leading up to the tournament when we lost the regular season title. And I think just in general the support from all of athletics, the other student athletes, um I mean, I think everyone believed in us. We believed in us. Um, Definitely just our UConn fans in general. We had a ton of people come down to Pennsylvania and support us, and that was incredible. People watching, streaming online. So yeah, definitely a lot of love.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Gotta have the balance between all sports in the department for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So you play against LSU and you come up short, unfortunately. I remember watching that game. I didn't watch the whole game, but it was my mom's birthday, I remember. So I watched a little bit of the game. But you come up short and the final seconds come down. What is your reaction in those last seconds?
I think immediately I was just so grateful to be there. Um, to be with my teammates. I was so proud. Um, of us. I think my initial thought was that wasn't my last game. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not done yet.
Yeah.
It's not the ending I wanted, but that doesn't mean my career is done. Um, so I kind of just tip my hat to um, my college career, but I immediately walk up to my coach and I was like, "So, what's next?"
Yeah. All right. What's next? We ain't done yet. So, yeah. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm happy for your career. I've been supporting you along the way, and you did something that you said you were gonna do, and you're gonna do even more, bigger, better things. But
I think when we first
yeah,
met, that's all I could
yo, we
bringing that
was at.
championship back.
I know, right? We was at conference. We was like, yo, I gotta get up early. We gotta train. I'm gonna get a lift in. I'm gonna get a workout in. But then I'm gonna come to the function. You feel me? But yes, yes, of course. But like I said, you always got my support, and I've just been watching. Oh, I'm proud of you on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but during those years you were playing, you're also the creator and founder of Lexi Hastings Level Up Softball Camp, which is something you do in the off season, coaching kids, teaching them the game of softball and things of that nature. So how did that come about, and what was the motivation behind that?
Yeah. My why has always been be the person my younger self needed to look up to. It's something that's carried me through the highs and lows of college athletics and um, always just centering myself around the impact that I can have for young girls and children playing the game. And I love the mentorship aspect. I had so many incredible people in my village that impacted me in a positive way, and it was belief. Like, they believed in me, they saw something in me, they invested their time, and I wouldn't be here without them. So I really wanted to provide that same opportunity for others. Um, and yeah, I mean, just giving back to the game and helping the game grow. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that? And what age groups do you pertain to?
So I've been doing that since probably going into my sophomore or junior year of college. I do all ages, um, typically from like 8 to 18.
Nice. Okay, so like adolescent years.
Hmm.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I know that's something you do in the off season, and you were located in North Carolina. Did you ever come back to Virginia to host some camps as well, like out in the Lynchburg area?
Yes,
Yeah.
I went to Lynchburg where I went to high school, and grew up. Um, the Lynchburg itself, I really wanted to go back there because that's kind of where my career started,
Yours, the origins.
um, but yeah, and just kind of grow softball within that area. Um, and then yes, I went to North Carolina where I'm at now and did some camps there and then some in Connecticut as well.
Yeah. I know we have a couple mutual friends from Lynchburg. Kylie Stark, Lexi Hawkins,
Yes.
Jenna St. John, like people I went to college with, and then
Yes.
found out that they knew you, and
Small world.
small freaking
My
world, yo.
teammate works with or my teammate's mom works with your mom. I
With
mean,
my yeah, small world, and it's like, yo, y'all know Lexi? Like, yeah, we grew up with. I'm like, what? So I met her at conference. She was my roommate. Oh my gosh. But yes, also, is that something you want to just continue, of course, continue to do, like just in regards to just not only just playing the game, but just also just being a mentor?
yeah, I think that's something that will never leave me. Um, I obviously want to continue to be a student of the game and learn myself and share that knowledge, but um, yeah, I just believe in like sharing the things that you've learned and um, helping the next person. And once you've gotten to the top of your ladder, helping someone else get there too.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. I know last year we met at the NCAA conference and we had a good time. And I know you also attended another conference earlier this year. So what was that? I know we had the same experience last year being at the NCAA conference, but what was the experience like being at it for the leadership development one?
I think being able to like apply the skills we learned at the conference we went to,
Mm,
um, now a year later having more direction in like the path that I'm taking, it was really cool to like have different conversations where our first conference was really kind of getting a scope of athletics in general, where now I'm able to kind of tailor my conversations to ask like really meaningful questions and um, being able to like follow up with some of the relationships that I built from that first conference and meeting like some really awesome people, getting to do it with someone else that I met at the conference because she's now working with UConn Softball.
yeah.
So that was really cool. Um, and yeah, I mean, just Indy's a great place. How can you not like the
Oh yeah, we
headquarters?
know.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Indy is a good place. It's one of those hidden gems for real. Last year when we met, like that was my first time being in Indy. And just like I not only did I love like the headquarters and where the NCAA is, but also just like the little like small downtown
Yes.
like areas. All yeah, I like Indy. I would go back for sure.
Yes,
Yes,
for
yes,
sure.
yes, for sure. So not only did you get accepted for the graduate assistant working for Title IX at your alma mater, UConn, but you have an opportunity to play baseball in the professional women's league. So talk about your training up into the tryout. You going from hitting a softball to hitting a baseball at a
Yeah.
different speed. So tell me about like what's the preparation looking like for you?
Well, first of all, I really had hopes of playing professionally for softball post
Right.
grad. And I was on TikTok one day and someone put in my comments, like, hey, they're starting this league, women's professional baseball. You should go for it. They're having open tryouts. And I was like, baseball, me? And I was like, you know what? A tryout is an opportunity in itself. So I was like, I would love to see where this league can go. It was really exciting once I did some more research. Well, I thought I was filling out a form for that tryout.
Okay.
Ended up filling out a form for something completely different, the All American Women's Baseball Classic,
Okay.
which is um, kind of like a league of their own. We got to meet some of the original players.
Awesome.
It's just a group of women and girls that come together, get to be a part of like the Bells, the Peaches, the Blue Sox, the Comets, and we play like a round robin tournament style. And yeah, so I ended up getting into that
As you
totally by
should.
accident. I don't think it's an accident now because I had an incredible time.
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah. Like how was that? Like, cuz
Yeah.
I've been seeing the TikToks, I've been seeing like the preparation, like you got to subtract 10 from the miles per hour. Like, yeah, talk about it. Talk about it.
So when I got that notice, it was about 2.5 weeks until the tournament. And at this point, I had kept up with my training here and there, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get into it. So there was a guy that I knew down there, has a facility, shout out the Performance Academy. Asked him if he could work with me. Did a lot of baseball specific things, hit live a few times, got to the tournament. Um, you know, ended up actually getting some hits and stuff. And um, the scout was there for the women's professional baseball league, and I had met her, and she had asked if I had signed up for the tryouts, if I planned to be there, and I was
Yeah.
like, I think so, because I had a great time with baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, just hearing the girls' stories of their journeys in baseball, fighting for their place in the sport, meeting some of the girls from the national team, um, which was really awesome because their hard work is just, it's so incredibly inspiring just hearing the stories. Meeting the original players, and it was just full circle for me, especially with my position of working with Title IX.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it was so inspiring and wholesome, and I just loved, I felt like a little kid just playing the game again. So,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. You going down there, meeting some of the original players of League of Their Own, and let alone you got a position to actually work with Title IX, something that they've been fighting for a
mhm,
long time, and seeing it fruition to
yes.
today. Yeah, that is very eye-opening. That is awesome. Like, what would like? Oh my gosh, that's just amazing. Like, just talking with those women. So we know you're gonna go into the trial. You're gonna kill it. How has the training been, like, in specifics of, like I said, hitting a softball to hitting a baseball? Like, how has that been going for you?
It's been good. I mean, the game is the game. Um, I think the biggest thing is I can pick up spin really well from underhand because of the release point. Baseball is a little different. Being over the top, you kind of have to change your like eye focus a little bit and being able to read different pitches. Um, Luckily, my bat path allows me to hit baseball pretty well from like a transferable standpoint. Um, I am a slapper in softball, which is a lot of just like being strategic, put the ball on the ground, where baseball it's a lot harder to do that with like the pitch trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
So really being crafty of like how can I stay myself of like speedy with a mix of power, like getting on base to steal bases, all that stuff. Being situational. Um, but yeah, and then from a defensive standpoint, I mean, it's so fun to just like you could throw that ball so much further than you can a softball,
Yeah,
to throw
yeah.
it harder. My first throw though to the outfield, I mean, from the outfield in the baseball classic, it went right into the dirt. Definitely the size of the ball kind of tripped me up. But game two came around, I threw someone out, so you know we're learning. But it's just been so fun to like challenge myself in a new way, but also like just have an opportunity to try out,
Yeah.
that in itself is just so exciting.
Yeah. You still have, like you said, from your last softball game at UConn, you knew it wasn't over then. And just to have the opportunity to try out and potentially make the team and still play not only a sport that you love, but also just being on a team dynamic and keep playing and also coaching kids on the top side, working Title IX, keep fighting for that equality for women's sports and raising that voice. That's amazing, Lexi. That's awesome. I'm
Thank
happy
you.
for you for sure. Yes, yes. So we know your trials coming up next week. We know you're gonna kill it. You're doing great things on and off the field, not only just with yourself, but with other people and helping them out. So I'm gonna just go ahead and end it with a closing question. What is next for Lexi? We know you're gonna kill it at your tryout. We know you're gonna keep working with Title IX, with UConn. We know you're gonna do great things, big things. But what's another goal past baseball?
Yeah. Um, for a small goal is to get to the 2028 Olympics. There's some things in the works right now. I don't want to
Okay,
share with everything, but I
that's
am
fine.
playing on a national team. Um, and yeah, the goal is to get to the big stage. It's always been a dream of mine. Um, I think long term is just to continue to see um, woman athletics, women in sport just continue to grow, thrive. I think people can really rally behind this new league that's starting, all that's happening within the WNBA right now. There's so many fun, exciting things happening in women's sport. Um, the pro league is expanding for softball, AUSL. So, yeah, I think just being a part of that and yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun content coming out about this journey of mine.
Yes, and we will be tuning in for sure. Just seeing everything grow from you being on the field and off the field for women. That
Thank
is the
you.
goal. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, Lexi, for your time.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for hopping on. You know, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and catch up. Uh, thank you everybody for listening and tuning in. Lexi, best of luck to you in your tryout next
Thank you.
week. I'll be praying for you. You got my support along the way. Y'all go ahead and be sure to tap into this episode. It'll be available again on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Y'all stay safe out there. Continue to have a good summer. And God bless. Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you.